What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff the Altcoin Buzz. Today we're going to talk about the mother of all kahunas, of all big mamas, of all big daddies, of all sugar daddies, whatever you want to call it, Bitcoin, right? So people are freaking out about Bitcoin right now because they've never seen Bitcoin fall off a cliff before. Now, if you've been into Bitcoin for a while now, you've seen Bitcoin fall off a cliff. Depending on how long you've been in Bitcoin, would depend on how many times you've seen it happen. And if we just take it back here, for example, December 2013, Bitcoin was trading at 694. After that, and I want to say that was around about the Mt. Gox situation, right? Then 2014, 498, and then it just went into the basement, and it stayed there for a long time, like about 8 months. And it started to pick up again. Then June, it really starts surging, and then it peels back in July. You see a little bit of a drop off, right? So it goes from, let's go to the yearly to look at that more in detail. So in June, you can see that it was trading at almost 3,000, then it pulled back to 1860. So that means it almost lost about 35% of its value, maybe 30 to 35%, right? Then it goes up again in September, hits around almost $5,000, 4,800, pulls back to 3,300, and it loses about, 25% of its volume, 25 to 30%. Then in November, it hits, 7,700, then it pulls back to 6,100. There it lost about, 10% of its volume, 10 to 15%. So then we go up. We don't really see it drop off too much like it's done like this. So this is the first real cliff fall off, but it's not that it hasn't happened before, okay? So it's lost high volume, but right now people are panicking because they've never seen something like this happen to Bitcoin. We never saw it rise like that, and we never saw it pull back. So it is completely unpredictable. Right? But if we just look at the last 7 days, you can see it's been anywhere between, anywhere between 12,000, which is where we saw it. Let's take a look at the monthly. So it started the month at just about $10,000. It's going to end the month more than likely at around anywhere between 12 to 15,000, right? That's basically where we're at heading into the new year. So we're still going to be up, right? Now, in the last 7 days, or since we have about 7 days, right, we've seen it as low as, we saw it go real low. We saw it go about 12, we saw it at about $12,000, right? Now it's sitting at $13,277. If we see it break below this $12,000 range, then it's definitely on another bear run, right, where it's going lower. But if it maintains above $12,000, we don't have an indicator to suggest that it's broken resistance. But if it does, then we're really looking at resistance points of, let's see, where would we resist right here? No, that's still too high. The next lower resistance would be around just under $10,000. And if we break the $10,000 resistance, we'd be looking at finding resistance around $5,000 to $6,000. So after that, I'm not even going to go there. But people are freaking out. They're not clicking on this as much. But then there's people who actually are clicking on buy instantly with credit card. Will buy more Bitcoin, right? And the reason they're clicking on it is because they think this is a buying opportunity for Bitcoin. And I posed the question to the community, asking you guys where you see Bitcoin going in 2018 to see what the majority of people want, or not want, what they think is going to happen. So let's take a look here at as we're calling ourselves, the altcoin buzz army. Some people are calling us the altcoin army. Some people are calling us the altcoin buzz army. But yeah, which one do you guys like better, altcoin buzz army or altcoin army? But here we go. Let's see what some of these comments say. Just to put it out there, what you all think. See what the consensus is. You tell us. Hopefully not replaced by BTC Cash. You recommend buying now at the dip. So it's my opinion, it'll go past 50,000 easily. P.S. What do you guys think of Leo coin? 25,000 highest cap. 320 is, I don't know what that means. Because, let's see, are they talking in Satoshi? It will rise all the way up to 50K. Hey, Jeff, can you please take a look at Volta? Jeff the 4th, 42,000. 100K by November next year. I agree. Just said it to my brother. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Jeff, can you do a review about B3 coin? $1 million. Okay. Media is dipping BTC investors who paid CNN and Fox to buy in. I project 15 to 37th. Yeah, okay. So you're seeing a whole variety of bullish claims anywhere between 25,000 and 60K, right? Some people even going as high as 100K. That's on our Instagram at Altcoin Buzz. If you want to drop a comment on there, let us know, or you can also comment on this video. But it's good to be able to get some data from here on social media. So if you're not already following us on Instagram, Altcoin Buzz, let's take a look at Twitter, see what everybody's talking about. So we've got 30 to 40K. Looks like the Twitter crowd's a little bit more serious about it than the Instagram crowd. So that's Altcoin Buzz IO. Make sure you put in the IO, but you can comment here about Tree Fitty. Okay. Tree Fitty, huh? Never gets old, Chef. That's funny. What you think about Tron? 35,000. It will be replaced by Bitcoin Cash. People will still cling to BTC because it's the grandfather of all cryptos. It's going to get abandoned, is what he's saying. Nowhere near as high as most expect. Quite evident in how their market share has shrunk from 63 to 40%. Agreed, hence year of the altcoins in 2018. So people think it's the year of the altcoin, huh? So what are they talking about when they're saying, they're talking about Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance, if this is new to you, this is what they're talking about. So Bitcoin dominance has gone below the 40% for the first time since June. And really the first time that was the first time that Bitcoin was really proven to be vulnerable, and that was when Ethereum was catching it. But it hit 37%. Right now, we're sitting at 39%. If it goes below 37%, that'll be interesting to see, because then Bitcoin's really looks like the altcoins will be coming into play. So I think up until this point here, Bitcoin has been the driving force behind all of cryptocurrency. Before IOTA, Cardano, Ripple, and Litecoin, Bitcoin, or even Ethereum, Bitcoin was the talk of the town. When Bitcoin went up, people were jumping in because of Bitcoin. It has the authenticity. It's the first one. It's been the the number one for a while. To see this happen, now we have other cryptocurrencies that are making a name for themselves: Ethereum, Litecoin, IOTA, Cardano, Ripple. So these are becoming more and more household names. Like more and more people are starting to become familiar with Ethereum and not just Bitcoin. But I still think that Bitcoin is still the most powerful force that we have in cryptocurrency. When the Bitcoin price goes up, it makes headlines. People get to hear about Bitcoin. But I think it's good that it's taking a little bit of a breather. But when big money comes back in, they're probably going to turn to Bitcoin, because they don't just start a Bitcoin futures market to kill it, right? You get what I'm saying? They started the Bitcoin futures market on the Chicago Board of Exchange. I don't think they just started up to kill it, right? They don't go through all this hassle to start that trading only to see it fade out. So with that being said, how is that affecting the price? Yesterday in the video, I talked about how what whales could be doing is they could be pumping money into Bitcoin, right? So they pump money into Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what I was suggesting yesterday. So this whole run that we saw here, they pumped a lot of money in, whales and some institutional investors, some just standalone investors like you and I, and then some like, people higher than you and I, pumping in a lot of money. And then when the Chicago board, when the futures market started, what if they took out a bet against Bitcoin? So they had already taken their profit And they knew that if they take their profit now and dump it in, and throw it into the ground and take a bet against Bitcoin, they could double dip. So if you don't know what futures are, basically it's saying, what's the future of Bitcoin? Is it going to go up or down? So if you control a lot of the Bitcoin enough to move the price, and like let's just say you held a lot of it, maybe what you would do instead of just one giant sell-off, you would gradually sell it off in a graduated sell-off. And then so you had, let's say someone with some institution with a lot of pull. Let's say they did this. So I don't know, maybe they sold 1,000 Bitcoin, then they sold another 1,000 Bitcoin, then they sold 2,000 Bitcoin, then they sold 3,000 Bitcoin, then they sold another 1,000, then they sold 10,000 Bitcoin. And how many Bitcoin? I mean, I'm just throwing numbers around. But then all they would have to do was take out a bet on the futures market that said that Bitcoin was going down. So they took out a futures bet that said it would go down. Maybe they took out a lot of money on that. So what they do? They found a way to take profit on all the new money that came in, and then now they're finding out a way to take even more with the futures contracts, they purchased more buying power for Bitcoin. They've got more money in the kitty to buy, right, at a lower price because a bunch of weak hands just sold off. So it's like if people who bought it 18,000, they're like, oh man, this thing, how low can it go? And then the media's out there saying, Bitcoin could go to $5,000, Bitcoin could go to $7,000, Bitcoin could go to zero, and then they hear that and they're like, well, I better at least sell at 13 so I can at least cut my losses kind of short. So they FUD you out of the market, then they buy up more Bitcoin, they take out a contract that says Bitcoin's going to go up, then they take all that money that they made from futures and Bitcoin on the last go around, and now they pump it all back in there, but with more buying power. So that's what I'm saying. If Bitcoin starts going up, I wouldn't be surprised if they take out a bet for the future of Bitcoin to go up alongside the owning the actual coins. So that's something to keep an eye on. But like I said, I don't think that the futures market would be created to just come in as an inside job and just take out Bitcoin on one foul swoop. I think it's going to be like they're going to get some mileage out of that thing. So if we just take a look here, what some professionals are saying.
People have made fortunes out of Bitcoin.
So you've got, the future of Bitcoin on 4chan here, and even on here you've got people saying how high can the price go, and you can see there's a variety of different bullish opinions on here. They're talking about going mainstream. You should read this, but you can see some of the quotes from Jamie Dimon. He doesn't like Bitcoin, right? And, you've got a whole, here's one, Arthur Levitt, former SEC commissioner. I'm not sure I would invest in Bitcoin itself, but it's here to stay because of the disparity between countries where a monetary system is robust and countries where there is virtually no monetary system. So he said that in the Washington Post. Lloyd Blankenfein, still thinking about Bitcoin, no conclusion, no endorsing, rejecting, but know that folks also were skeptical when paper money displaced gold. And so you've seen this. If we have a trader trading Bitcoin, I would fire them in a second. So you're getting a whole bunch of different, responses from the top dogs. And even, here's another thing that a lot of people have forgotten. Goldman Sachs in 2018 is going to have a cryptocurrency exchange. Let's see here. Yeah, right here. So why would Goldman Sachs, so this is Lloyd Blankfein, right? Let's take a look at this. Wall Street behemoth Goldman Sachs is about to start trading Bitcoin. So why would Goldman Sachs, a Wall Street powerhouse, all of a sudden start getting into Bitcoin? Why would they start to get into Bitcoin if it's a dying mechanism, right? They wouldn't. All it is right now, there's big money on the sidelines. And I've been saying this in most of my videos. This is what I think is happening. And I'm saying this because why would they create the futures market? Why would Wall Street behemoth Goldman Sachs, who can easily move the price? They can move the price up or down any which way, anytime they want. We're talking about a price of Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's market cap is 1/4 the price of Microsoft, 1/5 the price of the entire Google. well, less than that even. Google and GOOG and GOOGL, right? There's two Google stocks on the stock exchange. But if you combine both those market caps, they're at around about 1.5 trillion thereabouts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the last time I checked. If you combine both of them. And Bitcoin sitting at $222 billion is nothing, okay, compared to what something like a juggernaut like Goldman Sachs really has, and they can move that price real easy, okay? So now I'm not saying that they're necessarily trying to be hurt you guys, but I'm saying the power in holding is real, right? So hold. Don't get fudded out of the market by the mainstream media that might be trying to scare you out of the market so they can get a better deal. Some investors think Bitcoin could reach 50,000 next year. Okay, I've heard people say Bitcoin could hit 50,000 by the summer. You know what I mean? And we've seen how fast Bitcoin can rise and fall. Just remember, use this as experience and wisdom to apply moving forward, right? But and I'm just pointing this stuff out to you guys here. Okay, experts each Bitcoin could be worth $60,000 by December 2018. So Futurism put this out, and then Fortune.com. Like I said, why would Goldman Sachs start trading Bitcoin in 2018 if it was a dying mechanism? So Goldman Sachs Inc. is setting up trading desks to make markets in digital currencies such as Bitcoin, according to people with knowledge of the strategy. The bank aims to get business running by the end of June, if not earlier, two of the people said. Another said it's still trying to work out security issues as well as how it would hold or custody the assets. So, like, I don't know. I mean, that speaks for itself. I don't think they would start laying infrastructure if they didn't take Bitcoin or even cryptocurrency in general serious, which means that I think this really solidifies the future of cryptocurrency. But bear in mind, right now, we've got people who think the bear is awake, the bear market is awake, and cryptocurrency could be in trouble. But in reality, what's more than likely going on is it's a holiday and big money's on the sideline, which I've said about 350,000 times. No, I haven't said it that many times, but you know what I mean. I just keep saying it over and over, and you might feel like I've said it enough times. But when I see these hourlies, these red candles in the hourly, I'm like, goodness gracious. Some of you are stoked because that's your Verge coin starting to rise, right? The only one that's up right now is Verge. Shh, don't tell anybody, because then the whole XVG crowd just starts blowing up my Instagram and Twitter talking about Verge. ETHLend is looking sharp. This one is just looking like a stellar one. So if you got in when we made the video, good on you. Also good to see QuantStamp really making a nice run here. Ooh, Enigma. I talked about that yesterday in my video. I'm stoked to see Enigma do great. Yeah. So there's a couple on here. Still very excited about Rise. I just can't believe this. I got Rise at below 25 cents 2 months ago, and now it's at 123. And I just feel like this has so much potential, this Rise coin. It's like the next Lisk. So I'm going to wait that one out. And then, you have Sonam. You have a lot of great coins on here. And then even down in the low end, you have, like, look at this. 4 in a row just sitting pretty. This hemp coin just coming out of nowhere. Goodness. Bread. I'm big on bread right here. This is a brand new cryptocurrency. So anyways, guys, you can see what the community is saying, what the people think. She says it's going to be the year of the altcoin. Some people say that Bitcoin is just kind of it's like a Rolls Royce engine, right? It's just sitting in the hangar bay, waiting to get its moment to showcase what it's got when it takes off and launches. So people are looking at Bitcoin right now. Some people are real savvy, real hungry. They're going in there and they're like, give me some of that Bitcoin on a deal right now. Give me that Bitcoin while it's cheap. And some people are like, oh my gosh, I bought Bitcoin at 18,000. I better sell like before it goes to zero. So you got two different types of people out there. And then you got the people who've got Bitcoin and are like looking at each other like, I'm holding. I'm not doing anything until like a couple weeks when I have credible evidence to suggest either which way, but I'm just holding, and that's me. And I'm not saying that I'm the one with the right answer, because if it goes way down and I held, then what happens? So this isn't professional financial advice, and this isn't really even advice. This is just opinions and conversation that's taking place. But let me know in the comments. Join in on the comments on this YouTube video or Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io. We're just growing a big community here. Let us know if we're the altcoin army, altcoin buzz army. Yeah, altcoin buzz army. Let's see if anyone's starting to tweet that yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. Altcoin buzz army. Let's see if that starts building on these hashtags, because that's what you guys are. That's someone else said it. I can't remember who was it. You guys said altcoin buzz army, and then someone said altcoin army. Anyways, oh, it was funny. Today I was at McDonald's, and I saw this Cardano logo on the prompter. I know the Cardano logo because I've bought Cardano before, but there was Cardano's logo on a McDonald's screen. Now, I don't know if that's like a universal logo or if Cardano is using the IOHK and McDonald's, but maybe that's why Cardano is just doing so dang good lately. Look at Cardano here. I mean, while everything else has been down, Cardano's just been like, what's up, dude? Look at that. Going up as high as 75 cents. Jeez. Cardano's on a run. Oh, by the way, if you look at where the Bitcoin money has been going, just in the markets, it's been going to Ripple and Cardano outside of US dollar and US dollar tether. You know, you got 3 in a row for Ripple. So people were selling their Bitcoin to get into Ripple, and then people selling their Bitcoin to get into Cardano. Now, who or why is what I'd like to know. But if we look at BitThumb, that's the Korean won. It's not them. Bittrex and Binance, that would be like, who knows? So very interesting to see. Bitfinex, US dollars. That's not even open to people in the United States. So it's just very interesting. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Join us on social media, and we'll see you guys next time.